Viewers to another episode of Beyond the Scenes. Today we're with Mrs. Joy Ellis, and Mrs. Ellis is an educator. She's also the founder of Future Glow Early Childhood Learning Center. Mrs. Ellis, welcome to Beyond the Scenes.
Thank you very much for having me here this afternoon.
All right, and I'm so happy that Mrs. Ellis agreed, to be interviewed as an educator. She's gonna tell us her story, her journey. Why did she want to go into teaching in the first place, and how it has been so far, for her as an educator. So, Mrs. Ellis, tell us now, why education in these times? Why?
Education for me is the best way. Why? We need a nation that understand what they are all about, and to educate the small minds of persons to make critical decisions, yes, in life. And that's one of my passion, why I really wanted to do education. Also, as a child growing up, there were certain things that I was lacking that my mother could not afford. Yes, my mother, her name is Maria All, she's dead now. And she was one of those volunteers in the Jamal institution.
Oh yes, Jamal from back in the days.
So that's where I got my passion. Yes.
For some of our viewers, because Jamal was a while back. Can you tell us what Jamal is?
Jamal was a program for persons that was not managing at their academic level. And it was for adults.
For adults, yes.
So in the afternoon when they leave work, they would come to the Jamal institution. My mother, being one of the volunteer teachers, would give them basic maths and English and all of that.
So it was adult literacy, or what people call approved school, or for slow learners. Alright, so I like the fact that you spoke about your mom, Miss Hall, and how she became a volunteer in the educational system. Now, for our viewers, we're actually in the community of
Oakland and Payne Avenue division.
Payne Avenue, and you hear ghetto, basic school learning institute, what's going on inside the ghetto. And so we're here, but I'm gonna ask Mrs. Ellis to tell us, where she grew up, where she went to school, what she wanted to do, how she landed on education. So tell us first, where you grew up.
When I grew up just right around the corner there at 35 Walton Park, in those areas, 35 lane. So you know that 35, when you hear 35, is nowhere good. But is there anything can come out of Nazareth good? Yes. And so I grew up there. I went to St. Peter Claver Primary, just right up the road there. After leaving St. Peter Claver, I went to Whitfield Town All-Age School. After leaving Whitfield, I went to Norman Malley Secondary. While it was right up Massey, while it was a secondary. It is now an high school. And after leaving there, I went to Garmix Institution.
Okay, so you went to Garmix. What did you study at Garmix?
I went to Garmix to learn machine operating for one, and tailoring, because as I mentioned before, my mother was a teacher. She was also a seamstress, and that's where I got my passion from. Right, so I wanted to perfect my skills, and so I went to Garmix and I learned tailoring. And I learned how to operate the industrial machines.
And back in those days, Jamaica had a vibrant free zone industry. So they used to manufacture a lot of t-shirts, garments, and so on. So tell us now, your mom was a seamstress. You became interested in seamstressing, and you went to Garmix. You did tailoring. Having graduated from Garmix, what did you do next?
I went and I worked in the factory. Because doing the course, you didn't get a long period of experience. I went in the factory. At that time, it was Gitana. It sews jeans. And I was on the operation of a touch band. I put the waistband on the jeans. And after that, I left and went back to school.
Oh,
Yes.
This is to further
myself.
garment or...
So I went back to school to learn early childhood.
So you moved from garment now into early childhood. What drove that
because
change?
I wanted to become a teacher.
Okay.
So I heard at that time that that's the very lowest stage I can start without any great expense. Right. And so I started there and I went through garments. I graduated and I was on top of my class at that time.
So where did you study the early childhood? At Garmix too?
At Garmix.
And that's a part of Hartrust NT for those of you who
and there was an half branch at Ligani.
Yes.
So I finished my level 2 there. And while I was doing my level 2 there, the instructor at my previous institution asked me to come and teach because she was leaving.
To teach at Garmix?
No, to teach at Hanover Street, because I went to Hanover Street also. I went back there and I teach the class that was in session. It was only 2 modules and I did it because I was the top person for the institution. And it really drives me for more. I got an hunger for more knowledge. And then I applied to the St. Joseph Teachers College where I was successful. I started my diploma there. Yes.
And your diploma was in teaching
early childhood
again?
Yes. Because I love the small minds. When you get an opportunity to help to mold the minds of our generation, you can say yes. When I grow old, I can relax because I know what I've sent out in the world. And that was where I got my passion to stay in early childhood. I further myself to go to Western Carolina University.
That's in the United States?
Yes, but we have Jamaica program here in Jamaica.
And you learned about that program while you were at
Shetola Park Primary doing on the Jeep.
What's Jeep?
Jeep. It was a emergency program for unemployed teachers not working. So I applied for that and they sent me to Shetola Park. Hearing one of the teachers talking about this program, it stirred something within me and I went and I applied for it. Yes, I was even in the community of Almonton at that time. And we have a program there, a community group that was funded by CSJP, right? And I was a treasurer, a member of the board up there, and so working in the community, even going on parenting workshops, and all of that. So I try to expand myself to gain a lot of knowledge, and one of the things I remember when I was teaching, I went to an interview and after the interview the gentleman said to me, with all of your credentials, why do you choose teaching? I said, with everything that I know, I want to teach back what I know.
Okay. And let me ask, you went to Carolina. How long did you spend on that training?
So the Western Carolina program is in Jamaica. So you do most of your training here in Jamaica. The lecturers come down. And then the last part of it was that we have to go up for one month.
Just to get that
on campus. And to get the
how was that experience? How many Jamaicans were in that program?
We have 3 sets. One from Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego. It was an experience I totally enjoyed.
Wonderful.
Totally.
And so you had the opportunity to interact with teachers from different cultures, nations. Alright, so you went to Carolina. What you saw there, what motivated you to, come back to Jamaica? What did you see there that made you say,